They need money.
I guess.
Who in Div 1 and Div 2 would sell the most FPF jerseys? Like a player name.
Kevin Wyatt.
Like
Theo
it
J.
would be cool to wear a Theo jersey. Not a Theo, to wear Kevin Wyatt jersey. I feel like that wouldn't be a cool jersey.
Well, the
It's
reason
like a Tom Brady jersey. You don't wear a Tom
the
Brady
reason
jersey.
why
You
we
look like a
wear
douche.
Kevin Wyatt is because we have the same number, so it would fit.
It wouldn't fit you.
Well,
This
listen,
jersey wouldn't fit you.
around. So we had a discussion
For 2
yesterday.
reasons.
The discussion yesterday with another guy that wears 14, and I said, now, yes, we're all three Hall of Famers, but you're the shame of the 3 numbers.
I feel like Rod Master would be a hot jersey.
What?
Because like he's up and coming, Division
Yeah, I
1,
think
like
Rod be.
bandwagon. They're like the Browns now of Division 1, which is no longer an insult, by the way.
Yeah, they're good. Man.
Nick
But-
Arsenal would be a fun one if he had a jersey.
Yeah.
Don't be a scorekeeper. Nobody likes a scorekeeper.
Dan Lazare would be like the Baker Mayfield jersey.
No.
Why?
I'd wear AJ Gomes.
No, because he-
AJ Gomes would be a good jersey.
Because
He'd
Baker
be the Phil
Mayfield-
Rivers jersey because he's always screaming.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's successful.
Let me get text.
How many kids Dan's gonna have?
Rick Cherry.
That'd be awesome.
Would be like a Dave Craig jersey.
Rayton and Cherry. Okay, let's talk about this one. Rayton and
That's why I
Cherry.
say, well, I'm Mocon, by the way.
I'm Simon.
I'm Peace. I want to know why no one has quirky details about their lives.
And I'm Eagle, the reindeer warlock.
All right, so Nighthawks
I've always
beat
thought of you that way.
STL 31-26. Siwal and I were there for the game.
Last week, Nighthawks lost 46-43 against Norgard. Norgard was quarterbacked by Kevin Wyatt. So, I mean, if there's 2 plays left in the game and in the half and Kevin Wyatt's the quarterback, they're going to score. So it kind of sucks for Nighthawks to lose that game. But now, fast forward to this week where the quarterback is not Kevin Wyatt. And Rick Cherry was by far the best quarterback on the field.
Yeah, Dylan
And
Taylor was awful.
Rick played a phenomenal game. His receivers are not STL's core. Like, Nighthawks is not a Division 2 team. But Rick and Cherry is making these guys very good.
He had a bunch of Ford Tauruses out there. Rick and
Well,
Cherry.
look,
The
Ford Taurus
matchup-
himself, Tom Gatehouse, with 2 touchdowns.
I was going to say,
Tom Gatehouse, man, he was played so good.
Jamie Ojea is the best receiver for STL in this game. Tom Gatehouse is the best receiver for Nighthawks.
I mean,
Put
right?
that put that in the stat sheet next to each other,
Yeah.
which receiver you want.
But like, so on 4th down, he goes to Andrew Carruthers, who's covered by Jamie Ojea, and scores.
Mhm.
On third down, Tio was covering Tom Gatehouse. Tom Gatehouse scored. Like, what world is this?
It's a bizarre world.
Like, what's going on? But honestly, Rick, boss placement was flawless. These guys kept making plays. Inslee Adams had a monster game.
Yeah.
Like, he was the reason why this game was even this close. And Rick played flawlessly. Like, he had 5 drives, scored on all 5.
That's a weird way to word that. They won the game. He's not the reason the game was that close. He's the reason they won the game. Hinsley Adams plays for Nighthawks.
Nighthawks.
Yes. If Inslee Adams not there, they
Yeah,
lose
so
the
if you're
game.
concerned about Simone, we
Okay,
open
so
up
here,
site,
let me just put it in layman's terms.
helpsimone.com.
Robbie Robinson and Theo J was the matchup. They were trash talking each other here, and Robbie Robinson kept on saying, I'm a 35-year-old player who's dogging your team right now. Theo's like, all right, relax. Well, let's go and see what happens. At the end of the day, Nighthawks win, big win, because they clinched a playoff spot officially and now are in the tournament, whereas STL, after that loss, you have questions about this team and the direction they're going.
So, but what's interesting is I don't know what Dylan Taylor kept seeing.
So
He kept throwing a post over the middle.
He forced balls.
Like I want to say in the first half, every second pass was a skinny post over the middle that wasn't open. That had defenders there.
So this is a bit fishy. I just looked at the roster, and STL is at 515.0 on offense.
Mhm.
The cap is 515.0.
Mm-hmm.
The odds of that happening are very slim. Just saying.
Collusion.
Uh,
all right, get the crack team on that,
But
please.
honestly, I agree with you. He kept going. He kept forcing it to Jamie. And after what you said, trash talking between Robbie and Theo.
Which is great.
Yeah, it was amazing. I laughed for like 20 minutes. And so
It
Theo
was longer.
told Robbie, like, okay, do whatever. And then next, he told Robbie was going to burn him next play, and he absolutely cooked him, except Dylan didn't throw a ball.
No.
Like, as a receiver, there's only so much you can do. If you have 5 yards separation with the DB and you're not getting thrown to, there's.
Is the pressure too much for Dylan Taylor?
No, I just think he
had a bad week. I think it was just a bad game for him. All in all, I think like it happens. Everybody has this is a game for SL. It didn't really matter anyways. Dylan didn't play really well. He was forcing throws. Justin Blanchard had 0 targets. He had a target, but he had 0 catches. Like Theo J only had 2 targets. Like it's just The game when it mattered the most, instead of reading the field and going back to what he does best, he just kept forcing it, throwing in triple coverage to Jamie, didn't work out. Yes, the stat line is great, but at the end of the day, they lost the game.
Controversy beat King's Landing.
Yep. I'm not surprised by
Honestly, Sean Avon played pretty well, but just Dan Lazara was
Better.
himself. Tacos played like tacos.
Yeah, I mean, Controversy is by far the better team to begin with.
Yeah.
And if push comes to shove, Controversy is going to put up monster points.
Yeah, that's the thing about Controversy, right? Because when they're on, they're very tough to beat. When they're off, like they were against Clockmakers last Sunday, it was. They're just really anemic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have much going for them at that point. But if they can do this performance for the remainder of the season, I wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs.
Controversy?
Controversy
is a tricky team to play in the playoffs because yes, you could get the bad week Dan where he makes a few mistakes and gets into his own head, or you get the guy that throws 7 touchdowns and it looks
24 for 27.
That's what you get. That guy.
Like he made a mistake. He threw an interception, so 25 of his balls were caught.
So here's a question for Dan Lazari. Is he more concerned about winning a championship, stats?
Championship, 100% championship.
Yeah,
it's the thing. That's the thing people were saying when they weren't weirdly not voting for him for Hall of Fame. Was lack of championships.
He got the QBs of the years.
Yeah.
Like he's got a lot.
8 of them.
He's got a lot of them.
8.
No, he has a two-way.
Whatever. I mean, he's got 8 awards.
He got enough QB of the years that he doesn't need to prove himself anymore. He needs to start winning playoff games and winning championship games.
Winter season at least. Clockmakers, big win over SYO, 24-14. This was a great game.
It's not a big game.
This was because this was a trash talk filled matchup. Kyle Lebowski with SYO. SYO taking liberties against the defense, against the opposing team in Clockmakers. I thought Clockmakers played a really good game defensively for the first time. They looked much more in sync than they were in weeks past.
They played a really good game last week too, but when your offense isn't scoring.
Well, that's gonna be the knock on them, right? Is which Ryan Castro will you get? This is Dylan Taylor, right? Which quarterback will you get?
They scored 24. It's not good.
Well, in this game, it was good enough.
It was good enough, but that doesn't mean it makes it good.
Well, the thing is,
D's a passing grade, but it's not good enough.
By the way, the highlight of this game wasn't Clockmakers, but SYO and how Christian Tarantola, who didn't wear a number, by the way, almost knocked out one of his teammates.
Who? Oh, what names?
Jonathan Bouzareth.
Why?
Because he ran the wrong route, and he literally went to him like this. Run the bleeping route properly. And Bouzareth had his fist clenched and went like this, and he stopped. He's like, no, I'm not going to punch you.
Well, you shouldn't be punching people. It's
it's
a recreational flag football.
It's also
if he did that,
assault.
if this was teammate on teammate violence, does a teammate get banned for the year for life?
I'll tell you what. If I'm the teammate getting punched, you're getting a lawyer's letter tomorrow. So I don't care.
Banned or not,
yeah,
you're still getting sued.
Yeah, sorry, civil court.
Well, not sorry.
Division 1.
You should be sorry because
D1, great game. Braves beat Montreal Finance. A try-hard Montreal Finance, actually. Finance really wanted that win to prove that they could compete with Braves, and Braves dominated the same way they have all season.
Mm-hmm.
Braves is the new Finest. Is the Winter 2019 Finest. Is a team that nobody wants to play, and the number 1 seed, and everybody's afraid of.
When you say new finals, what do you mean? Like they're going to go on a run of like 8 championships in a row? Is that what
They
you're
might.
implying?
No,
They
they're the one team that
They're the best team in FPF right now.
everyone knows in Div 1 that there's always like this front runner
Yeah.
and the people behind. It used to be Finest every single season all the
That's
time.
no longer the case.
It's no longer Finest. Now, this season, it's Braves. If you ask anybody in Div 1, say, who's the one team you don't want to play? It's Braves.
It took 10 years, but Mocon is finally right. This is the
This
worst.
is. I like being right. I made the Nostradamus pick years ago, and it came true finally. But like 2 points here about finals. Will they be a 500 team going into the playoffs? Yes or no?
They're playing Waste-Ute? Yes.
PZ.
It's a tough game, man.
It's not an easy game.
That's a tough game.
But will Finest really risk?
I don't think they're not trying to lose. It's not a risk.
No, they don't. They don't go.
That's
No,
a
no,
weird
no.
way to. You keep phrasing
No,
things the weirdest way.
the middle of the pack games.
If you're concerned about Simon, we started a website, www. www.helpsimo.com.
No, like the week 5, 6, 7, 8, it looked like Finest didn't care. Like whatever happens doesn't matter. But the last few weeks,
Oh, sorry. SimoneNeedsHelp.com.
come on, man, one job. Just know the
I
fucking
didn't
website.
start. I didn't make the website. It was Eagle.
You asked him to make it, and you gave him the title.
Correct.
Stop making excuses and just do your job.
www.SimoneNeedsHelp.com.
All right, so as you're
We
saying,
need your help.
as you're saying the point before, Simone.
Yeah, I think that on it, realistically, Finest this season, they're better than most teams in Div 1 at full strength.
Okay, so here's the thing for you. As weak as they are now, as I've been proven right after 5 years, is it still a very compelling story that they're going into the playoffs as a weakened animal?
It's
knowing
only compelling if they upset like Braves first round. which
Well,
they
no,
won't.
it was second round because Braves gets the bye, right?
Oh,
Braves have the
second
bribe,
round,
but
correct,
what I'm trying to imply is that they might be a
yes. Like
5
unless
or
they have a
6
huge upset, there's
but,
not.
But this is my point.
There's nothing
though, right?
compelling about it.
If they're a 5 or 6 seed, they play whoever they play, DK or
D-Boys.
D-Boys, right?
It's not. That's not a story.
But
The only thing that's ever compelling about Finest is when they lose.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's what I'm saying. Though. Is it compelling that if they were to lose by say 40 points to DK, that
40 points.
let's say 18 plus
that would
points,
be compelling.
Yeah, if Finest loses to DK,
like in an ugly fashion.
the worst part about this is, so when it happened this season, this was a huge moment. DK finally beat Finest after going like 0-8, right? But the problem is if Finest loses this playoff round to DK as a 3-6 seed, it's more of a knock on DK for losing that game than it is for Finest to lose that game. I feel like Finest is the weakest roster in Div 1 and the 6 teams that are going to make it in, even if they have Kevin Wyatt. So for DK should win that game as a favorite. It's not the other way around. Oh, it's a knock. You finally beat Finest. You knocked them out of the playoffs. You should be winning this.
Yeah.
All right, D-Boys big win over Flagmore Sac.
That's a
Huge
big,
win.
That's a huge win. D-Boys needed to win to stay within the playoff race ahead of Waste Youth.
And I find it, in my opinion, that's a surprising one. I thought Flagmore Sac would
Yes and no. I
would
think
come
that
away with it.
D-Boys finally have their roster together. They finally have their guys back. Everybody's playing.
But
They're
we've
more
been saying
sane.
this is also like Flagmore Sac Prime, right? This is
This is the window of opportunity to cash in.
It was, but yes. Like I was looking at the roster. It was like everybody was pretty much there for both teams. Flagmore Sac played okay, but they didn't play great. They made some mistakes. D-Boys capitalized. Marco had a very good game. TOJ was being vintage Tio again. Like he doesn't look hurt anymore, and he's running his routes properly, and he's getting fed, and they're moving the chains. And I feel like this is back to what D-Boys do best. But the problem is you were missing. So a week you're missing Tio, another week you're missing. You're playing with 3 subs.
But now that's the MO though. D-Boys don't care for the first 5 games. They really don't. They just give a bleep about the last 5 and this.
They had Kuwait suspended for a little while.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Tio was hurt.
Yeah, but they don't care. Like I think this has been like if you look at the history now of the last like 2-3 seasons in winter spring, they've always been at like 1-2, 1-3, and then they come on strong.
Well, after that win against Finest, it really motivated them.
Yeah. We'll look at the playoff standings now for Div 1 and Div 2. We'll go with Div 1 first. Monstars are done. They're 4-6.
That's a harsh way to put it.
For the season. They're done for. They played their 10 games.
Yep.
okay. I was trying to understand.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was like, wait,
I meant to say they're done for the
They're the
season.
16 at the moment.
Does Waste You can catch them and jump them?
Waste Youth could clinch if they win one of their next 2 games, and they're in a 2-way tie for 6th with Monstars, and they need to allow less than 86 points in their next 2
So
games.
what's the path for Monstars to clinch a playoff spot now at this point?
The opposite of those things?
Waste Youth and Got Fat losing out.
Okay.
Or not winning out.
Well, Godfat's not going to go playoffs. Not going to.
I don't think Got Fat's going to make it in.
It's Waste Youth's more the concern, but Waste Youth doesn't have an easy path ahead.
Yeah, so the graphic is actually wrong for I just realized this now.
Mhm.
That D-Boys and Finest are essentially clinched because Monstars can't jump them.
Yeah.
Just because of
The only 2 teams that aren't clinched right now are Monsters. Waste
listen, I might have done it right. Let me say.
It depends, right? If they fall into a 3-way tie, though.
Yeah, in a 2-way tie. In a 3-way tie, they will not make it in.
Who are you talking about, Monstars?
But not even. But Finest and D-Boys beat Monstars this season. So
Monstars are really on the edge.
So Monstars are really in a tough spot. If Waste Youth wins one of the 2 games and don't get blown out,
yeah.
Waste Youth might jump Monstars to the playoffs.
Okay, so now we look at
Got Fat, there is a chance.
Goff has a chance.
So
but
what
it's
they
not
need
good.
is they could clinch if they win the next 2 games and allow less points to Monstars. who have finished with 375 points.
So
If Waste Youth wins beats Finest, they also need to allow less than Waste Youth, currently at 288 with 2 games left.
all right. So which first round matchups? Like if it's gonna be DK, D Boys, Finest, and Monstars, which matchup are you looking forward the most to see? Is it D Boys, Finest, or is it gonna be DK against Monstars?
D-Boys Finest in the first round feels so weird.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be DK against Waste Youth and Finest against D-Boys, which is a very fun matchup for Waste Youth, and D-Boys Finest has always been like the story, right? They've always been the two teams fighting each other. So in the first round of the playoffs, before Flymore Second Braves even play, it's going to be a crazy game.
That's
Yeah.
crazy to think that this is a quarterfinal match, not even a semifinal
Yeah.
at minimum.
It's crazy.
But for Monstars, though, you wonder what if of course Rameship has a real life, he can go to Thailand, that's fine. But if he
Yeah.
wasn't in Thailand, this probably is a team that has 6, maybe 7
Yep.
wins.
They'll probably be third or fourth, right?
Probably
and
be
that,
3, I think.
and that would push down everybody one seed.
So
So that
Finals
put
are going out to the 6th seed at this point, right?
sixth and fighting, and have a playing game this week against Waste Youth.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Pretty much. Waste Youth, if they were, as you said, to get in the playoffs, do you think they can make any noise?
I
'Cause I think DK would be the right matchup for them.
I think DK is a tough matchup for them. I think that across the board, well, except from Braves, I think that the toughest matchup for Waste Youth is DK.
All right, looking at Div 2 and what we have lined up, of course, Braves and #NR are going to be your 1 and 2s. You can't sit with us, and STL will be your 1 and 2s on the Conference B side. More or less, the playoffs are set. Terror Squad, Bad Boys, Alcoholics, Prospect Squad. The most desirable matchup that you're looking forward to seeing is who? Terror Squad against Prospect Squad or Alcoholics against Terror Squad?
I really like Prospect Squad against Terror Squad.
Yeah.
The battle of the squads.
The reason why I like this game is because Prospect Squad with Mariparaka now, they're better. Their defense is actually pretty good, and they're getting there. Right? I don't think they're going to be able to beat Braves or NR, but they could beat Terror Squad. Tamfield that has not played well last week against. You can sit with us. They put up 38 points,
Mm-hmm.
but he made some mistakes on key downs, and I feel like that's something that Prospect Squad could feed off. Right? They make a mistake here and there. You've seen them play. Like
Yeah,
they're very
I
aggressive.
have.
They're very loud. Could get into that little here and there, makes an interception, turns the game around. Mariparaka could have one of those great games where he looks like a Div 1 quarterback.
He's a street quarterback, though, Mario Paraka.
He is, but if they get hot early, then they could be putting up 45 points.
If there's history on his side, if you remember the spring season last year, if you look it up here, Eaglet, Mario Paraka, I forget who he played with in Division B. It was. They took out the number 1
Drop
seed.
the mic.
Drop the mic. Yes. They beat STL. I think it was Eaglet. Can you look it up for me, please? I'm sorry, you're playing a Warlock game, but I don't want to interrupt
Eaglet
you.
means look it up, produce, do something with your life.
So anyway,
Ranger
he's
Warlock.
had the.
Says
he's-
the guy with the computer in front of him also can do this.
I'm looking
I was
at
like,
the-
I don't know.
Listen, does he look like a producer?
I'm not producer, Eaglet. He's
he
had
barely looks like a host.
he-
No, he's got a haircut.
yeah. He's had the pedigree to win in upsets.
I think he's good enough to do it. The problem is this season he looks off. Like Mariparaka is not necessarily the most running quarterback. Like he's got a cannon for an arm, use it, but he
Yeah.
keeps running.
He's like Dwayne Haskins.
He keeps trying to beat the rusher.
Yes, Eaglet.
They beat Dad Bods in
Dad
the
box. There you
quarterfinals.
go. There you go. That's right.
So I feel like they would be better off with him throwing more than running. I feel
Right.
he runs too much.
So for Braves 2.0 #NR, which teams do they want to avoid when coming off their bye week?
Bad boys.
And Bad Boys would be like if things went according to the seedings, Bad Boys would lock up with Braves 2.0 NR against Terror Squad.
Yeah. I think that for either team, Bad Boys is the toughest of the four remaining. And Bad Boys is just a matter of what kind of Pachinal shows up. The one that's been playing for the past few weeks has been
Mhm.
putting up 45 points. He's got weapons around him. It's a good defense.
Right.
They're a very physical team with Nick Arsenault, Matt Bond, Pachinal. Ryan Aridi is a good rusher. It's a tough team to play against.
I wouldn't mind seeing an NR Bad Boys rematch.
Oh,
That'd be
that's gonna
fun.
be- that's
that
gonna be
was a
loud.
great game.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
gonna
a
be loud.
fun game. Shinari going out with Mike Asari. My God, that was a fun game. So I would love to
Yeah.
see that happen again. Peace, if there's a team out there that NR wants to avoid in their opening playoff game, who is it?
I don't see it.
Nobody?
Bad Boys? Or you think they'll go through?
I think they want bad. Well, like knowing the guys on NR, they want that matchup. They want that.
It's the right mentality.
Yeah. That's who they are. Like they're not looking to avoid anyone, and I don't think there's a team there that's particularly scary for them, other than maybe Braves 2.0. You can't sit with us on the other side of the
Yeah, but
bracket.
that's the finals.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's, other than the top tier of the division, there's no one that's going to compete.
Right. On the flip side,
Or not no one compete, but there's no one that
Yeah.
truly poses a threat to them.
right. On the flip side, you can't sit with us. STL are the 1 and 2, so they got the buys. And so, from the looks of it, and it's still to be played out with Kings Landing, Clockmakers, and Nighthawks. Nighthawks could move up to number 5. Kings Landing, I believe, would have the tiebreaker over, or they would have the edge over Nighthawks. So Kings Landing should be your 4 seed, I believe, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, point is this: controversy. Kings Landing, Clockmakers, Nighthawks. 4 teams with major questions on their roster. Which one are you more confident in that can make them deep run in the playoffs?
So the one I have the most confidence in is the controversy. I feel like they're the one team that could beat any of these 6
Mm-hmm.
as a lower seed. I mean, but if there's one tricky matchup to play, it's Nighthawks. I
I think that's just your recency bias.
Yeah,
So
because
because you
this
saw
is-
it yesterday,
Well,
therefore
no, it
it's the
happened-
true
it
of
happened-
all weeks.
No, but it happened
It's-
back-to-back weeks, right? Like they almost
But
upset
that's-
NR with a better quarterback.
It's like the-
Kevin Wyatt's better than
It's like the
quarterback.
keto diet, right? Everyone's on this keto diet. That's what it is with Nighthawks. Oh my God, this is really
No,
fun
but
to watch.
it's just the problem is if you can't stop their offense and they score on every single drive, it comes down to can your quarterback not make any mistakes?
Yeah, but can you trust any of the Nighthawks to come up with a clutch play? Because playoffs are different.
well, they
Tom
haven't
Gatehouse.
last 3 weeks.
Oh, your boy Gatehouse.
Two touchdowns.
They have in the last 3 weeks. Like they're making plays, they're doing great. And if your quarterback scores on every single drive, at some point somebody's gonna make a mistake. So if it's not Rick and it's Alex Holloway
Boy.
or Dylan Taylor or Dan Lazara, they lose a game because your quarterback made one bad
So, hold
one
on,
bad throw.
Are you taking Rick and Trey over Dan Lazara?
I'm not.
You taking Rick and Trey over Dylan Taylor?
I'm not. Well,
Yes,
Close.
Even with the game yesterday. Are you taking Rick and Trey over Alex Holloway?
I'm not.
as
Okay.
a player,
A quarterback, head-to-head quarterback.
yes.
Well, you're wrong.
No, but he.
I could be wrong.
But his
You're
case,
entirely wrong.
he rests his case though. He
I rest my
thinks-
case.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
my case, bro.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
So I'll ask you. the same
You're
question.
fine. Your case is Nighthawks is not scary.
Yeah.
Although
Your
Nighthawks are
case-
kind of scary.
I mean, yeah, because they see so well at night. It's
But-
terrifying.
but they're
all night animals are crazy.
The only reason why we can make the argument that team is not scary is because the roster is weak.
But you're
But, but I think again, so like like Rickton Cherry is a very good quarterback, and I'm not
Tommy
knocking
boy.
him at all. It's just, man, like a lot of the guys who come up, like Alex Holloway, like Dan Lazara, like even Sean Avram. At this point in their careers, they're better than Rickton Cherry.
You see, Sean Abram is better than Rick and Cherry right
Absolutely.
now.
is Rick and Cherry better than Ryan
It's
Kastner?
weird for me to say, by the way.
I disagree.
Here's a question for you: is Rick and Cherry better than Ryan Kastner?
I don't think so.
Even with the faults that Ryan Kastner's had this season.
Look, when Rickton Cherry looks impressive, like we have seen the last couple of weeks, it's great. But there's also he hasn't been amazing all season. He's been good. He's been fine.
He's been
But-
pretty good. But your defense allowed 373 points in 9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
That's
And-
horrible.
And you have
Like,
three teams.
maybe
That's 40.
Again, the fact that he doesn't have great receivers around him doesn't make his case because it's dynamic, right? So good receivers make a good quarterback better. Bad receivers make a good
They-
quarterback worse.
But
They
here's the thing,
average,
though.
they average 42 points against a week.
Mhm.
That's horrible.
And you have
Correct.
three
That's really,
teams.
really bad, man.
3 teams on that side of the division that have averaged 33 plus points per game
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time a team allowed more than 400 points against.
and went deep in the playoffs. Not too
No,
sure.
no, at all.
Period.
That's the period.
Yeah.
400 points is a lot, man.
It was a
And
Rob White defense.
They
right?
will allow more than 400 points this season, guaranteed. Unless they allow less than 27 this week, which is
All right, so for you can't sit with us STL, which teams do they want to avoid when they have their opening playoff games?
controversy.
Controversy. Yeah.
Well, controversy will be locked up with STL, right? They can't play. You can't sit with us until minimum.
Which is good for you can sit with us in my opinion. But like if I'm you, yes, I think you can sit with us as the better team, but that doesn't mean you should play them right away. Like,
Does Kings Landing pose a threat to?
They're pretty good, man. I like them. I've been very, very impressed with play. And again, it hurts me to pay compliment to Sean Avram, but I've been very impressed with him this season. It's he's really risen to the challenge, and look, they need a lot of things to go right for them to compete against the top 3 teams. Because, like, to me, this Conference B is exactly ranked as we probably thought it was going to be at the start of the season, right? So, like, you can't
Yes.
say with us, STL, Controversy are far and above the 3 best teams in the division. Controversy, some odd losses in there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, we know those are the top 3 teams, right? Kings Landing would need a lot to go right to beat any of those 3 teams, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch to say.
So I think Kings Island could beat Clockmakers or Nighthawks.
Yeah,
Depending who they play there, I think they're going to win the first round matchup.
correct.
Second round, I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's the thing I said.
They're going to lose, but it's not going to be close. They're going to lose by
I
a
agree.
decent margin because I don't think Sean Abram is there yet.
Yeah.
So would you
but-
say, sorry, Pease, would you say then in the relation of the 2 A and B here that it's a little bit more unknown in Conference B of who will come out of it compared to Conference A?
No, I think it's pretty much the same. There's 3 teams in both divisions.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Maybe. Yeah, it's about the same.
All right. Speaking of the same, it is now time for.
Same
The
teams.
games of the week.
All right. Here we go.
I'm still gonna do spooky sounds though, because it's fun.
All right. Fine.
Well, that was, yeah.
Let's do Div 2 first. We have Killa Bees Clockmakers.
Clockmakers.
Yes.
Yes.
You can sit with us, alcoholics.
You can't say it with us.
Yeah, you can.
Agreed. They can't sit with them.
The Symphony Youth Orchestra for Life versus Terror Squad.
I love orchestras, but they're gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Terror Squad.
King's Landing #NR.
Hashtag
Hashtag
NR.
NR.
Hashtag NR.
And Simon down in front. We have Alcoholics versus Nighthawks.
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 Yes.
I'll go Nighthawks.
All right. Division 1.
They are.
Montreal's finest, Waste Ute.
Waste you.
Waste you.
Planted my flag there.
Okay.
Planted my flag in a taco. See what I did there?
Hey, D-Boys got fat.
D-Boys.
You boys.
Flagmoil Sack DK.
Flag one.
Flag one sack.
Yes.
And Waste Ute versus what I can guess is Monstars. Nope,
No.
got fat.
Waste you.
Waste you.
All right.
To which agreement?
Which shoot will make the playoffs? this
All
year.
right. Maybe this we won't be in agreement. Magic words, please.
He lost 70 pounds and became MLB's #1 pitching prospect?
I saw that.
Good night, Zion Williamson.
No. Forrest Whitley is the guy.
He said MLB.
And it's weird because like his old weight is probably less than Zion Williamson's current weight.
Edmo calls himself a sports professional.